if you look at Prisma, you got MTUSD with LSTs, you got Ultra with LRTs, definitely don't fade that, you can deposit your LRT on Prisma, mint Ultra, and lever up your eigenpoints.
Welcome to the Edge Podcast. I'm DeFi Dad here with Nomadic from 4RC. Today's show spotlights the latest release of Prisma LRT, a new DeFi product by Prisma Finance for borrowing against LRTs. In this episode, we'll cover how Prisma LRT works, how to earn as a borrower or liquidity provider, and what other eigenlayer LRTs might be supported next. But before we do, just a quick word from our sponsors who make the Edge Podcast possible. Introducing Flat Money, the first decentralized, delta-neutral FLATCOIN built on Base with sustainable yield that's completely untethered from legacy finance. Because DeFi needs an uncensorable based unit of currency. You can mint unit with RETH, which is held in the protocol's shared liquidity pool, where it's borrowed by leveraged traders. As a leveraged trader, you can deposit your margin collateral and go long on RETH. If you're trading in the perpetual futures market, you'll pay unit holders to open leverage positions. If you're holding unit, you'll earn yield from liquidations, borrow rate, and trading fees. Preserve your purchasing power and offset your exposure to crypto market volatility. Learn more at flat.money.
Introducing the MANTLE Liquid Staking Protocol, MANTLE LSP, a permissionless, non-custodial ETH liquid staking protocol deployed on Ethereum L1 and governed by MANTLE. With MANTLE LSP, users can stake ETH to instantly receive METH, earn yield and accumulate rewards the longer you stake. METH is the value accumulating receipt token that will give you access to expanded yield opportunities. Stake and watch your yield grow with MANTLE LSP.
Introducing RSWETH by SWELL Network, a native liquid restaking token that gives you access to the eigenlayer ecosystem. Earn pearls, points, and future restaking rewards without locking your liquidity. And enjoy countless DeFi integrations for earning easy passive yield. Learn more at swellnetwork.io. For most of us, our crypto journey started with MetaMask, and now with MetaMask Portfolio, we can do so much more. MetaMask Portfolio puts you in control. Use the dashboard to see all your assets and balances across your wallets in one place. The buy feature allows us to buy crypto assets effortlessly with fiat options such as PayPal or credit card. The swap feature allows us to swap any tokens anytime by finding a selection of available rates. The bridge feature allows us to bridge between networks including Ethereum, L1s, and L2s based on the best price and fastest delivery time. And with the stake feature, anyone in a few clicks can stake ETH and earn rewards. Do more in Web3 your way with a safe, simple, and convenient tool that's all in one place. Track and manage your Web3 everything at metamask.io/portfolio. Introducing KELP DAO, the first liquid restaking platform for LSTs. With KELP, anyone can deposit STETH by Lido, ETHX by Stater, or SFRX ETH by Frax, and mint a liquid restaking token called RSWETH. With RSWETH, you can participate in your favorite DeFi platforms and get 100% of all eigenlayer points, plus KELP miles. A fresh wave of restaking is here, restaking that's liquid, rewarding, and convenient. Learn more today at kelpdao.xyz/restake.
It all started so simply with CryptoKitties and Maker on Ethereum, but quickly became complex with more applications and many chains. Today, everyone agrees UX issues are the biggest blocker standing in the way of crypto adoption. Introducing Avocado. Multi-chain UX redesigned from the ground up. The first wallet to abstract networks, accounts, and gas. One gas tank to pay transaction fees on all chains in USDC. And native access to INSTADAPP's powerful, custom DeFi strategies. Avocado, one wallet to rule all chains.
All right, let's introduce Richard from Prisma Finance. Richard, welcome to the Edge Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, guys. Thanks a lot for having us.
So today we're going to talk all about Prisma LRT. Now, prior to this podcast, we have covered Prisma Finance The protocol was originally focused on LSTs. So it's a CDP protocol, meaning that you can borrow against collateral like an ETH LST. Now, this launched in, I think, early September 2023. The DAO itself launched in early November 2023. And so we're recording this with all of this LRT mania having happened over the last few months. And so no surprise, the Prisma team recognized the excitement and the demand to borrow against LRTs like eETH by ether.fi. And so we're going to just learn all today about what's the difference between Prisma LRT and the original Prisma protocol. Also, there's a new stablecoin associated with this that's called Ultra. And so, yeah, hopefully this will answer all of your burning questions. But Richard, do you want to just kick off with a little bit more then about what is the major differences between Prisma LRT and Prisma Finance?
Yeah, thanks a lot for all that intro. So Prisma LRT, if you want to be really simple about it for people maybe who aren't familiar with Prisma LST, if you have an LST or a liquid restaking token, you can deposit that into Prisma and mint a stable coin. And then you can take that stable coin and, leverage up with more LST or LRTs, or you can deposit that into pools or different things within the Prisma system. We can talk a bit about those later. And so the differences between Prisma LRT and LST is really just the underlying token that backs the stablecoin as a collateral. What we did do, and I think this is sort of a question that a lot of people ask, is, why a second stablecoin? And really, there are differences between a liquid staking token and a liquid restaking token in terms of risk, really. And so a liquid restaking token has a lot more things going on in the background. And we have a third-party risk team called Prisma Risk. And so we talked to those guys and we just sort of worked things out and realized as LRT mania started picking up and certain conditions were met, like that LRTs had enough liquidity on chain, they had some price oracles, because we need those. Once all those conditions came together, we were able to launch Prisma LRT.
Awesome. And I guess with this first iteration launch of Prisma LRT, what are the first supporting LRTs that you're rolling out with?
Yeah, so we launched with ether.fi. So we have WETH on the system right now. And then we have a couple of new ones coming. We're looking for government proposals I know are being written up by KELP and Renzo. And then I think SWELL will be coming along at some point too. There's a few different teams that have been reaching out to us. And basically, we just have to do all this verification of, oracles and liquidity and different things like this to make sure it's a good fit.
Richard, are there any other major differences with Prisma LRT? Are any of the main parameters that make up the protocol? I'm thinking of the way redemptions work. I'm thinking of things like the loan to value ratio that we borrow against those LRTs. So yeah, any other key differences or maybe improvements to call out?
So if you think back to the original launch of the LST, we did have some sort of conservative parameters in the system, and we launched with those here as well. And so the depth cap, which is sort of the maximum amount of Ultra that can be minted, is a bit low right now, and it will be low on those vaults until we see everything's working. We're happy with how everything is working. And then the DAO can sort of propose a vote to increase those debt caps. So I'm not actually sure. I think it's 20 million is the debt cap right now on ether.fi. Deposit ether.fi. Let's see. Yeah, that's 20 million. And also what we call the minimum collateral ratio. We're a liquidity fork. And so we use that term. It's MCR. And you'll see that on the vaults on Prisma. It's at 130% right now. Whereas if you go to the LST side, it's a bit more mature. It's been live for several months. So most of those will have an MCR of 110%. In terms of redemptions and the way the rest of the protocol works, everything is the same.
Got it. I was just checking out DeFi Llama while you were talking there. And you said you launched this 24 hours ago, and there's already over $11 million into this new protocol. which is pretty wild. I think like kind of shows like some level of product market fit, I would think, for just such a quick launch and already achieving those numbers is pretty amazing.
Yeah, the 11 million overnight was quite quick, but our community and Twitter and Telegram, there have been people asking for something like this for quite some time. And then we did announce, last week. And so I think, people were chomping at the bit to get into this. And of course, ether.fi is offering, 2x points on these deposits. And so that's pretty interesting. And then, so basically, once I think word gets out on this type of thing, when that cap gets hit, when we see that demand and we see a few more people, asking for space, I think that's when the DAO will come up with a proposal to increase the cap. Whether that will be, 25 million or 30 million, we'll see. There'll be discussion in the DAO about that for sure.
When you open a vault, you can get paid in Prisma. There's like an emission there that's incentivizing folks to open vaults that are backed by, at this point, wrapped eETH, and we'll probably see this with other LRTs eventually. But once you have your Ultra stablecoin, there's the stability pool composed of Ultra, and then how many other LPs are there? Like, I guess any of those you want to call out with like higher APYs, and keeping in mind, folks, if you listen to this podcast in the future, like these APYs, like they change constantly. So
yeah, looking at the different places where you can use your Ultra on Prisma, I think it's worth mentioning that the stability pool, you have no impermanent loss there. It's just a single-sided deposit of Ultra. So it's relatively safe compared to, somewhere else where it might be paired with ETH. And so the APR on that, Prisma has a boost system with the deposit. So if you deposit into the stability pool right now, your minimum reward in terms of Prisma rewards is at this moment 47%. And you can get up to 95%. That's a bit of a different topic, how the boost works. And then, of course, if there's liquidation, that would give you additional APR. But the market isn't really playing out much for liquidations right now. And then we also have an MKUSD Ultra pool that's paying out the curve deposit 70%. And again, that's 2 stable coins. So that's a pretty decent deposit right now. And I will be adding more pools. I'm just having a quick look because I know there are some things coming online, but I don't think they're here quite yet. So yeah, those are the 2 options right now. I know we have some new ones coming shortly, but it takes a bit just to get liquidity moved in, all of the gauges set up. So the stability pool and MKUSD Ultra for the moment are good places to use your Ultra when you mint it, if you're not going to lever up and take that Ultra and buy more LRTs to deposit back into Prisma.
Maverick Protocol provides innovative liquidity solutions for token projects to customize, automate, and incentivize their liquidity with the highest efficiency in DeFi, all powered by Maverick AMM. Why has Maverick become the first choice for all kinds of token projects, from stablecoins to LRTs? As the first dynamic distribution AMM, Maverick AMM provides automated liquidity movement modes which move your liquidity to follow price, keeping it where it does the most good. This enables Maverick-powered pools to process higher volume with lower TVL requirements, and means that Maverick supports the highest capital efficiency for LRTs like eETH. Maverick AMM also supports non-uniform liquidity distributions, making it easy to concentrate liquidity in shapes that fit each project's individual needs. Finally, Maverick boosted positions maximize incentive efficiency for protocols looking to bootstrap their token liquidity to precise strategic areas of a liquidity pool. Token communities like Lido, Aave, Swell, ether.fi, and KELP DAO have been bootstrapping TVL and maintaining PEG using Maverick tools. Ready to build liquidity with maximal efficiency? Go to app.mav.xyz/The Edge Podcast today.
As far as like the Prisma platform expanding, is there plans to go to some of these other L2s, or is the plan right now to kind of stick to ETH mainnet? Anything you can share on that?
Yeah, I guess, when people ask about this, I kind of want to mention that Prisma hasn't quite reached its final form on mainnet yet. At the same time, the devs are packaging up something that we can take onto other chains. And so the thing I'm alluding to there, we have a tokenized stability pool deposit that will be launching. I'm not exactly sure when at the moment, but basically that will allow people to deposit into the stability pool and come out with, on the MKUSD side, a token called SMKUSD. And that will sort of take care of compounding rewards for you, liquidations, and then that can be used elsewhere. And so you'll be able to it just increases the capital efficiency of that deposit. So I know that that's going to go live at some point. And then also I imagine that will be pushed over to the Ultra side as well. And so once that's done, we sort of have the whole package, and the devs are working at expanding into other places. And I think, I was watching one of your shows from not too long ago with the fellow who is the Convex, actually, I can't remember his name. And he was talking about how Convex is, rolling in, they will obviously in Frax and Prisma and FX. And I think, if you look at Prisma, you got MKUSD with LSTs, you got Ultra with LRTs, and we're looking to do sort of the same thing. Because if you think about it, right now the DAO collected a whole bunch of fees from the LST system. And to make it simple for people, basically Prisma, made money off of the interest rates and fees in the system. And that gets stored by the DAO. And then that gets paid out to people who are locking Prisma and voting with Prisma. So one of the things we've been talking about lately is phrasing that as, hey, if you lock Prisma, you get a weekly airdrop of stablecoins. Because you do. We had a fellow pop into our Discord this morning, and he's like, where did I get this MKUSD reward that I'm seeing in the earn the reward side of the Prisma app? And we had to explain to him, well, you got that because you've locked Prisma, and that gets paid out every week. The APR on that's about 33%. And he's like, well, where did that come from? And it's kind of amazing that we had somebody who had locked Prisma, didn't really know everything that was going on there. And so, Prisma as a protocol is looking to find more ways to push fees into the DAO and give these magic airdrops that people will hopefully keep finding on the Prisma protocol, not to mention, bribes on the hidden hand and things like this.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just like a subtle tweak in messaging can be like really illuminating or like really click with people. And I want to say that the person you were talking about, I guess the pod that you watched, that's CryptoVestor. Shout out to him. He's awesome. Quick follow-up, though, to talking about tokenizing the stability pool. I've heard about this, and I hadn't really thought about it that much, to be honest, but that seems really interesting. So you could actually take the MKUSD stability pool APRs and then tokenize that in a separate token, and assuming that would be almost like a yield-bearing token that's like, again, composable in DeFi. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool. So another question just about, I guess they're not really two separate protocols, but just this kind of deviation between Ultra and Prisma. I think I know the answer to this, but I just want to clarify. There's going to be no new governance token for this like LRT side, right? Like everything will be still governed by the Prisma governance token. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, it's all Prisma.
Richard, I think this is a great place for us to wrap up the conversation. So I want to remind our listeners that they can learn more about Prisma LRT by going to prismafinance.com. If you open up the app, just look there's a little switch there that shows Prisma LRT up top versus the original LST-based protocol. And then on Twitter, they can follow PrismaFi. And then we've also got Richard's handle, which we'll put into our show notes, and you can reference it there. And then, Richard, just thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate getting to talk about like such a new DeFi product that's so urgently in demand with LRTs. Would love, though, if you can leave us with any last bit of alpha or information that we should look to learn more about with Prisma.
Thanks a lot for having me and Prisma on the show. Some good, thoughtful conversation. So I guess I would say don't fade the tokenized stability pool deposit, because right now, if you deposit into the stability pool, yeah, you get, 80, 90% APR, but that's it. With the tokenized deposit, you get that APR, and then you can go off and do something with that token somewhere else. And we are in talks with a few different places where you might be able to deposit that and get some more yield as well. Some familiar names that you've had on your show in the past. And I guess the other thing, definitely don't fade that, you can deposit your LRT on Prisma, mint Ultra, and lever up your eigenpoints.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're a talented founder or developer, please consider reaching out to our team at fourthrevolution.capital. And for future episodes of the Edge podcast, please check out our link tree at edge_pod.